So I have a funny story to tell you about what happened to me in court today. Because self-deprecation is not beneath me. So I had a court case against my ex-boyfriend who I have a restraining order against, and he violated my restraining order. So I got him arrested. And we had court today. And I like to sit in the very, very back row. Because there's a lot of riffraff in this domestic violence courtroom. And I need to know what's going on at all times, okay? But they're like church pews with an armrest on the end. So they called my name and I was kind of surprised. And so I slid down and I hopped up and I turned to get out of the pew. And I don't know what happened, if my knee hit the armrest or my purse or something, but it spun me all the way around and I hit the wall. And the whole courtroom went silent and just stopped. And people came running at me. Are you okay, miss? Are you okay? And I just bounced off and I'm good. I'm ready. So apparently all these asshole guys on here who tell me that I've hit the wall were right. But only for a second they were right. Because then I dust myself off and try again.
There are only 2 instances in which a woman would ever hypothetically hit the wall. And I say hypothetically because women don't hit the wall. Okay? That is a concept invented by men that is projected onto women. But women don't hit the wall. But if they were to hit the wall, hypothetically speaking, the only 2 times they would ever hit the wall would be 1, if they're literally dead, and 2, if they decide to stop taking care of themselves. And I'm not talking about just taking care of your physical appearance, because that is what a lot of women focus all their attention on. But when you as a woman are able to take care of your physical appearance, your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, you're in tune with yourself, you don't neglect yourself, you don't neglect your needs, you have a community of people who support you and understand you, you're never, ever gonna hit the wall. The reason why men love saying you're gonna hit the wall is because they're scared of hitting the wall. They're scared of being old and alone, and they want you to hurry up and settle for them so that they're not old and alone. So it's projection. Not to mention, it's completely untrue that nobody's gonna want you as you get older, as long as you as a woman continue taking good care of yourself, because the amount of men who want you actually increases. That's why I said, you're not gonna hit the wall as a woman unless you're literally dead or you decide to stop taking care of yourself. Because if you're not gonna stop taking care of yourself, men are constantly gonna want you. Constantly. Even if you're married with kids, divorced, widowed, whatever, they're gonna want you. That is a fact. So stop letting these red pill men scare you with this hitting the wall phrase that they love to use, because we all know it's just a projection of how scared they are of being old and alone. It's just funny to me the way these men think that their attention determines our value, when in reality most of us don't want their attention, and also they don't look like people that we want attention from. So it's just a little conflicting to me when I hear things like hitting the wall, because I'm like, when would that ever be a thing for any woman? Unless she was literally dead or stopped taking care of herself. And that's on that. Period.
I'm 32 years old. That means I've hit the wall 2 years ago, and my life has been amazing. Best 2 years. I'm Chinese. We love walls.
I think feminists have ruined dating. Hear me out. So, I think that guys have decided to not be as gentlemanly or chivalrous because a lot of feminists have pulled the I can do anything, I can do whatever a man can, but the point is we can't. Like, of course I agree with equal pay and stuff like that, but a lot of women are pushing this crap down men's throats, and I think it's really ruining a lot of men and the way they feel about women. Tell me your thoughts in the comments.
I just wanted to give a little background and context to my story. I was in a narcissistic and abusive relationship for 20 years. I really didn't pick up on the abuse and how bad it was until about 10 years into the marriage. Before that time, I was around family and friends and people that were constantly distracting me of what was really going on in my relationship. So in 2011, we moved out of state, and that was the first time that I was completely dependent on him. I didn't have my family, I didn't have friends, and that's how I started to become isolated and completely by myself. This was the first time that him and I ever had to rely solely on each other, and it didn't take me long to realize that I was very much on my own, that I did not have a partner, that I was very much on my own raising kids, running the household, and all of those kinds of things. This is when I can remember the gaslighting and the blame shifting and the shame starting. This is when I can recall the verbal stuff that started happening, the twisting of words and blaming me for everything. If I brought up something in the relationship that was concerning to me, it was always twisted around to my fault. I was always spoiled, or I was lazy, or I didn't understand things. And over time, you start to believe all of those things. You do start to believe that you are really hard to love and you're really difficult to be around. And they also have all these flying monkeys that they have recruited who are also letting you know that you are those things as well. So it becomes pretty easy to believe. I didn't know about the cheating and the affairs until 2015 when I discovered what I thought was my partner's first affair. I know now that he was having affairs and cheating through the entire marriage. When I found out about that affair that same week, I also realized that I was pregnant with my 5th baby. At that point, I was completely broken. I was just a shell of a person. And that was really the beginning of the end for me. But during all of these years, while this abuse and stuff is going on, there will be periods where you're done. You've just had it, and then things will suddenly get really good. And they'll be really good for long enough for you to put all that stuff in the back of your mind, lie to yourself, make excuses about it, whatever you're gonna do. It's this ugly cycle. It's really hard to get out of, and you do truly feel completely stuck.
That I could have a conversation with him, that he could be here with me, that he could have chosen me.
Trying to get a guy to commit or trying to see where things go, I indulged in hookup culture.
Why am I not good enough to date? If you want to hook up with me, why do you not want to date me? And then it's like, is it my personality? Am I that unsufferable?
When I tell people that I've never officially been on a date with someone, they don't believe me. But to me, a date is like actually going to a nice restaurant that someone's planned, and I've never had that.
Clearly, I'm not doing something right.
If you do not want to be with her, just tell her.
When I was little, I really didn't think it was going to be this hard to find someone.
When, I don't know how to fix this.
I just want a family.
I had to come to terms with knowing that I'm not a woman that men commit to or love. They want, but I've never had any big romantic gestures.
So it happened again. I had a date cancel on me and I got stood up.
And I have been stood up.
I know I deserve better. But he was that person for me.
Stop fucking ghosting.
And I'm tired of being single.
And I'm not capable to find someone who is able to get interested in me, in myself, for a long time. I don't know. It's only about superficiality, relationships.
If we required commitment before sex, we would have more relationships.
I don't even condone drink dates. As a man, societally, he gets paid more. And his time that he has more of because he's not doing hair, makeup, and shaving his legs.
I would love to know, what do we need y'all for?
Women don't need men in order to make money to provide for themselves or take care of themselves.
Gorgeous, gorgeous girls don't cry over a boy in a car. Gorgeous, gorgeous girls don't need a boy.
I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of not feeling like a priority to you.
I need somebody to have my back. I do. I'm admitting it. I could say I'm a strong, independent woman that doesn't need no man, but I am saying I want a man and I need a man.
But every single time this happens, I always tell myself, like, oh, you'll get over it, or like, you're over him, it'll be fine, right? I haven't blocked his number, and he hasn't texted me since he ghosted me. He hasn't, not once. He ghosted me once, and then he ghosted me twice. The second time before he ghosted me, he's like, I want to make it up to you. I want to take you out on a date. I can't stop thinking about you. You did nothing wrong.
As he comes back into the car, he tells me, I don't think we're gonna have a good time. And I thought he was kidding, and I'm like, huh? He's like, I'm taking you back home. You're not my type. Oh my God. I'm sure it's because I'm overweight that he didn't want to go, like, continue the date or whatever. And I'm just like, wow, like, it was so fucking awkward.
But people don't just want to date me in my day-to-day life. Like, if he was actually interested, then the date probably would have gone better, you know? Like, this is our second date, and he's not once told me that I was pretty or that I looked nice, and he doesn't, like, ask me questions about myself, and I know that the answer is he's just not interested. Like, I'm aware of that, but, like, neither is anybody else, and at some point, I don't want to be single forever.
I'm 53. And I just can't believe that I'm sitting here, and it has been several years. I think it was over a year that I had a date, and then it's been several years since then. Where are all the good men? I'm tired of being alone. I want to share my life with someone. I am just freaking tired. I want to be in love. I want to share my life with someone. I want to feel the joys. I want to have my hands held. I want to be held. I want to kiss. I want to support. I want to make coffee with that person. I want my person. I want my person. Why is it so hard to find your person? I'm tired.
I'm just having a really hard day and trying to get ready.
That women tend to be happier when they are single.
I could have married a lot of the people that I've dated.
Okay, I turned 40 this year, and I've never been in love. I've never been in a relationship.
If you hear something or an update about your ex, and it just kills you.
Women tend to be happier when they are single.
Struggling financially, being alone, having no one there to talk to as you age, you know, no kids.
And I always thought I would have kids. I thought I would be married by now. And now the closer I get to it, and I'm scared. I don't know.
I didn't think it would be an issue. I'm 32 years old.
I'm 53. I would like to think that I'm still young, right?
The fact that you're 40 and single, still with no children, and now you find out that she's 8 weeks pregnant, and you so want to feel happy for her, but inside you feel so sad.
Happier when they are single.
I'm in the stage of life where I'm watching all my friends get married and have babies, and
you know that at 40 you're running out of time, and soon you won't have a choice at all.
I also feel like I'm getting older, and it's like I have to put some effort into dating or I'm just gonna be alone forever. But now I'm just honestly getting to the point where I'm just gonna be the single aunt.
But like, it's really hard when like I don't really have anyone to go to like on a Friday night.
I am 30 years old and I have been single for over 12 years, so never had a real adult relationship.
Maybe I should just give up. But I don't know. Then I feel like if I give up, then it's like, then I'm totally throwing the towel in, and like, that sounds and feels sad.
But really, this is crazy. It's been a rough month for me, and I got COVID. Somebody help me. I'm so tired of being an independent woman sometimes. Sometimes, like, I just want to be taken care of. You know, my whole life, I've just been so independent.
Yep. Careful what you wish for.
There is no shame in not wanting to climb the ladder.
You are going to be alone. You're not going to have a family. Like, I don't want to wake up at, 60 by myself.
And people go home to their families or partners or whatever, and you go home to an empty house.
Please drop a like on the video if you think that modern feminism cares more about hurting men than actually benefiting women.
I don't want a job. I don't want to be a corporate girly. I don't want to climb the ladder. I don't want to be a boss babe. I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to be the breadwinner. I do not want to do that. You know what I want to do? I want to be home.
And I'm just wondering, am I the only person like completely struggling? Am I the only one? Because I've been single a very long time.
I'm 28 years old, I have a degree, I'm not doing anything with that degree currently. I just want to live comfortably and be happy and have the time to pursue my hobbies and my passions outside of work. Gotta be jobs that I'm just not thinking of.
Okay, I'm turning 30 in 3 months, 90 days from today. And so I figured since I'm still single, it's probably a good idea to consider freezing my eggs.
Freeze your eggs. Freeze your eggs as early as you possibly can.
When they call you and tell you that none of them worked, like,
You know, like they're mature, but like when you actually do the testing after making embryos, like I, in theory, could have nothing.
I think they even used the word discarded. They said they've all been discarded.
I really thought this process would like slow down my biological clock and I wouldn't feel as much pressure. And I feel way more pressure now.
For me, freezing my eggs allows me to fulfill my dreams on my own timeline without depending on a man or my biological clock.
Super wild to me that women are going through this whole process, preserving our opportunity to have kids in the future. Meanwhile, men aren't taking any sort of steps to do things to help themselves have kids earlier in life. Number one, it's not just about having a kid. It's about preserving opportunity. Meanwhile, men aren't taking any sort of step to help themselves have kids earlier in life. Why not just have the baby? Can you imagine me, a mom now? Have kids earlier in life. Can you imagine me, a mom now? Y'all, I've got some more concerts to go to.
Dating in your 40s is terrible. Why does it have to be so bad?
So let's talk being childless and possibly being single and being lonely.
I'm not good at this. I don't know if I'm like just so damaged.
I'm talking about my son. He literally grabs a dessert menu and just starts looking at it. Like he's completely bored with what I'm saying.
So my sperm arrived and was shipped to my clinic in Pennsylvania.
So I just had a very fun date with this really sweet guy. It was like super wholesome, but I'm sharing about the fact what I'm doing here, and I'm becoming a solo mom, and
it's been a bit a little bit stressful, and I haven't really been feeling like posting.
But that's where it's so frustrating is like, why are we not told our options? Like even in our OBGYN appointments, like at 25, you're going in for your pap smear. It's all about birth control versus like, let's get an AMH on you. Let's talk about like family planning. Instead of a down payment on a house, right, I pay for my eggs to potentially be stored and potentially be used.
Let's discuss why men my age don't seem interested in me.
Older men, when they date younger women, is because they find them more physically attractive than the older ones.
So I'm 45 and my age range is from 33 to 65.
I just don't think that men in their 40s are looking for other women in their 40s.
Women have it 10 times harder than men. And I built this life for myself. I had in the Dominican Republic breast augmentation, lipo under my arms along with Vaser, and then I had lipo 360 along with a tummy tuck, BBL, and then lipo and Vaser on my inner thighs.
And the fact that I don't have my own children means that I'm able to give time to friends that do have children, to people in the community that have children, all that extra to give to other people's kids.
Now my neighbour has just had a baby, and I'm really happy for her. She's wanted a baby for a long time, and she's now got this beautiful daughter. But I haven't met that baby, and that is my choice. If I see that baby, it's going to bring up feelings of grief.
I'm 30 and I'm single, and something that I quickly had to learn while dating at my 30s is that 30 or plus year old men would much rather date women that are on their early 20s than women that are 30 or plus years old. And I think the reason for that is because when you turn 30, you hit this wall where you don't take the same shit that you used to take while you were in your 20s. For example, when I was in my 20s, a guy would say, yeah, you know, like, I just need time. I cannot be in a serious relationship with you right now. And I would go for it and I would entertain this man. If a man comes today and says, hey, I'm not ready for a serious relationship, it's like, babe, you're 30. The hairline is going back. Like, what else do you need time for? So I quickly had to realize that I'm probably gonna be spending a lot of time single, and I have to be okay with it because I cannot go back to my 20s. I also don't want to. I love being 30 and the maturity and consciousness that I have now.
So I just came from a first date, and I'm just gonna sum it up. It went well, right? But how he ended the date is just like, it's not much, but I love food. So this just really spoke to me. So as we were saying goodbye, he was like, did you enjoy your food? And I was like, yes, I did. I'm going to be hungry in an hour, though. And he's like, okay, I'll send you some food to your house so you won't have to spend your own money. Helping me save money on food already, and you putting food in my belly? That's a love language for me in its own. I'm already in love. So I just came from date number 2, and it just keep getting better. And then he ghosted me.
Listen, here's the thing. If you become a divorced mother in your mid to late 30s, I want you to recognize that you are going to witness other women who are similar to you, who are snagging the young bucks, okay? They are robbing the cradle. They're getting the guys who were barely alive when 9/11 happened. And that's all fine and dandy. But I'm here to tell you, as one of those bitches, that it's not all that it's chalked up to be, okay? It's actually not all that great. I mean, my family is harassing me left and right, asking what I'm doing, wondering why I look so old, standing next to this little baby boy. I mean, I got humbled real quick this morning when my mom called and said that she made me an appointment to get Botox so I don't look so old next to him. This is just the reality, ladies, okay? And I don't feel like I even look that old for my age. But listen, when it looks like you could be nursing your son and your new man at the same time, this is a problem. This is a problem, and it's become a problem for me.
So I made the decision to start dating again. Are people actually being asked on dates? Because I feel like there's lots of pen pals, but no, like, invites? Like, is that the way to put it? So help me out here. Are people actually going on dates or being asked out? Like, what's going on?
I want to talk about being single and wanting to be loved. I'm currently on a trip on my own in Costa Rica, and something really amazing happened to me today. I'm coming towards the end of my trip and I'm getting a little bit in my feels, and I made a video, it's a couple of videos back, talking about rejection and the fact that I started this year experiencing lots of different rejections, both personally and professionally. Some of those were, of course, in the world of dating, and it just made me think, God, is this ever going to happen for me? Now, I talk a lot about being single and being happy, and I think that no one is perpetually happy. No one is happy 100% of the time. It's just not possible. However, in general, I'm incredibly happy because I just don't want to settle. I know the kind of relationship that I want, and so I'm willing to hold out for that relationship. However, there are days where I'm just like, oh, I would really like to start that journey now. I would really like to start that journey with somebody. And today was one of those days. I woke up and I was feeling, you know, a little bit kind of like emotional and a little bit like, I don't know if this is ever going to happen. And then all of those kind of old thoughts and patterns come up for me, like, what's wrong with me? Why does no one want me? Boo-hoo. But I recognize now, and I'm very aware, self-aware, that those are just thoughts and they're not actually a reality. So I choose not to buy into them because now I have that choice. So anyway, I took myself to breakfast because I was like, I need to eat something. I took my journal. I'm like, I'm going to just journal this all out and I'm going to feel so much better. And as I was sitting down to have my breakfast with my journal, my holiday friends that I made on a trip yesterday came down for breakfast, and they were leaving this morning, and I was so happy to see them because I thought they'd already left. And I don't know if you believe in coincidences or serendipity or the universe or whatever, but I certainly do. And one of the women, Ro, started telling me a story about how she'd been single for 14 years, and then she has now met this incredible man and she's in love. She's just turned 39. They've been together for like the last year or so. And she also told me that her mum didn't meet her now husband of 15 years until she was 43. She didn't meet the love of her life until she was 43. I'm of the belief that we definitely have more than one love of our life or one soulmate. I think there are many, many people, and I think for the different versions of us that we are, there are many different junctions that we can take. But when I heard her tell this story, it just filled my heart with so much joy, and I was just like, that's the hope and faith. That's the hope and faith, because the person that I'm going to be with exists, they're alive, living their life somewhere, and when the time is right, I'm going to meet them. And that was the message that I needed to be reminded of, and that was the message that I got this morning. So whether you're male, female, if you're single and you do want a relationship, some people don't, and that's absolutely fine, and sometimes you find yourself kind of losing hope, I think it's really, really important to remember that timing is everything. Enjoy your life right now, and when you're meant to meet that person, you will. And yeah, I truly believe that's going to happen, and when it does, I'll be sharing it with all of you. Thanks guys, love ya.
This video isn't going to have a punchline, I'll tell you that right off the bat, because I am basically just making it to stop crying, because usually when I start trying to make a video, I stop crying. And I've been crying all day because I got sat on a plane next to a couple, and the whole time the guy had his hand on like his girlfriend's leg, you know, and it was just kind of like that the whole time. And I can't, like, I've been single my whole life. I'm 25, and I've never gotten to experience that. I've never gotten like close to that, and it's just too much. Like, it's too much. I can't do it anymore. There are some people out there who they're not interested in a relationship and they want to be by themselves, but like, that's not me, and that's never been me. I have always wanted to be in a relationship, even though I've never been in one. And even though I'm comfortable by myself and I can do things alone, but like at a certain point, it gets like really sad doing things alone. Like, I've traveled alone to so many places because like, if I don't go by myself, I'm not gonna go. If I don't do things by myself, it's not gonna happen. But at the same time, like, it's so much fun to be able to like share that with someone else. And like, everyone I know is in a relationship right now, and like the majority of them have been in relationships for like a long time. Like, this is established, and I just like, I feel like I've always been alone, and I don't want to be, and I don't understand why this is happening to me. And I don't know, I like can't take it anymore. And clearly this didn't work because I'm still crying, and I just wasted like 2 minutes of your time, and I'm sorry. And I hope you're having a better weekend than I am. So
maybe this is too niche, maybe it's not. I don't think it is. But it's a beautiful day outside today. It's literally 70 degrees. It should not be 70 degrees in February where I live, but that's another video. But it's beautiful outside today, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna eat my lunch, I'm gonna go outside, I'm gonna sit before my next class, it's gonna be good. I get outside and I look around and I realize I am quite literally the only person sitting by myself. It just made me so sad to the point where I got up and I literally went inside, and I felt like I couldn't enjoy the stunning day that it was today because I was like, I'm so fucking sick of doing stuff by myself. And I don't really feel lonely except in instances like this. And I think this is why my anxiety and my depression actually like is worse during the summer, because I find that during the summer, for whatever reason, I'm always like by myself. I have friends, don't get me wrong, my friends are incredible, I love my friends, they're like my sisters, but they have lives and I feel like I don't. Anytime you see me out, 90% of the time I am by myself. I go to the store by myself, I walk to class by myself, I sit by myself. Like, I'm always alone. And it never bothers me really until it slaps me in the face that like, oh shit, everyone else is with somebody, be it platonically, romantically, whatever, and I'm by myself. Like, sitting outside today, like, that was like a perfect encapsulation of like my entire life. Like, everyone was sitting with someone and I was literally the only person sitting alone. And in that moment, it just made me so fucking depressed. Like, it made me so sad. And I've had the same friend since high school, and obviously we were in high school, like we saw each other every day, and I texted my friends and I was like, you guys, I miss seeing you guys every day so bad. And every time a beautiful day comes around, I'm like, I wish I had someone to like go on a walk with. I wish I had like friends that I saw more often. I wish I had a boyfriend so fucking bad, you guys. I don't know, but it made me really upset, and I literally got up and I went inside because I was like, this is so fucking embarrassing.
Okay, so as a woman, one thing that I'm very sick and tired of seeing is all of these women giving bad advice, especially to the younger women, because you know what it is? Misery loves company. I see all of these women in their 30s, 40s, 50s that are giving terrible advice to women in their 20s and even younger than that. So coming from a woman, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to tell you what hitting the wall means. So men value different things than women do. They value beauty, youth, and they value someone that respects themselves. When you start aging, your biological clock is ticking, and that is just a real fact. Going into your 30s, your options are going to be less than when you were in your 20s. And those guys around your age are now looking at the younger women, and you're going to be competing now with the 20-year-olds for the guys that you want. And then now when you're ready to start settling down and possibly start thinking about having kids, those same guys might feel like you're rushing them, and they might not want the same things at this point. So then the dating market starts getting stressful, and then now these women are rushing for time because now their biological clock is really ticking and they want to go through the stages. And then a lot of them end up single, a lot of them end up childless because they chose to have fun in their 20s instead of looking for a relationship. And they thought that when the time came that they did want to settle down, that they would still have all the options that they had when they were 20. But then reality hits, and a lot of them end up childless and single, and not by choice. So don't listen to all of these women that are saying that they're so happy and they're so content with not having children and they didn't want to get married, because the reality is that a lot of them did, most of them did, and by that point they just didn't have a choice anymore, and so they had to accept that now they are childless and single. So of course they're going to make the best out of it. But what I don't like is that they're preaching to the younger generation that this is the way to go, because if they could have chosen otherwise, they would have.
It's crazy how people will try to scare women and they'll be like, yeah, well, once you're in your 30s, men won't find you attractive anymore. Promise? Promise? Like, oh yeah, once you hit the wall, men won't approach you. Swear? Oh my gosh. I wish that was true. However, it's not. But I also want to say, like, whenever people try to scare women, like, oh, you're going to end up alone, or no one's going to find you attractive, that is not scary. I just want to first and foremost say, women have a life outside of men thinking they're attractive. And as a woman, it is very important to have a life out of getting men's attention for your beauty. That is a very empty pursuit, and that validation will do nothing for you. And I've noticed this by being someone who posts on social media. Sometimes a guy will try to like insult my appearance, and I'm like, ooh, okay. Oh no, a man doesn't think I'm attractive. Oh no. I'm married. And the only person's opinion that matters, first of all, is mine, of myself. Like, if I like how I look, why would I care what you think? Also, I just want to say, like, anyone who comments on your appearance via social media, they're always worse looking than you. Every single time.